I think all of us can agree that Mass Effect Trilogy was one of the most celebrated RPGs of its generation. Recently, there's been a lot of rumors going around the Twitterverse and everywhere else that this game series is getting a rework. Is it true? Let's get into it. Now, EA Games and BioWare have refused to either confirm or deny the existence of this rework. We do know that they are making Dragon Age 4 and that there is another Mass Effect game down the pipe that is coming. Now, whatever your feelings are for EA and BioWare and their recent actions, all that aside, let's just talk about the series. Now, originally, back in May, VentureBeat, and specifically a writer for VentureBeat named Jeff Grubb, had reported basically hinting that he had inside information. And then it was kind of left and nobody talked about it, and we all rumored about it and wished for it, and everything was amazing. So for months we didn't hear anything, and we all just kind of speculated and thought, it's just rumor. And honestly, nobody wants to get their hopes up when it comes to BioWare and EA over recent events. We don't need to talk about all that controversial stuff right now. But VentureBeat did report on it again at the end of September, and it was so moving that Forbes magazine has also reported about it on their website. So let's go ahead and talk about what this article actually says. And it actually, with current recent events with next-gen consoles and how everything is working out, it actually makes sense, because these articles were written at the end of September. And now, knowing what we know, we can go back to them and look at them, and it adds a little bit more weight. So we're going to read the original article from VentureBeat. Now, this is the article that Forbes is actually referencing, and basically all they've done is just regurgitate that information and just mix up the words a little bit. Now, I will leave a link to Forbes as well as this article on VentureBeat as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this. Electronic Arts still hasn't revealed Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and that is for a reason. The publisher originally planned to launch the remastered trilogy that I first reported back on in May. Now, he puts a hyperlink to that original article that I will leave down in the description below. So if you're interested in any one of these articles, definitely go ahead and check that link out. With an October reveal and release, which makes sense because everything got revealed in October for Xbox and PlayStation, and so yeah, this totally makes sense. But now EA and developer BioWare are pushing that release into early 2021, including, according to people familiar with the development. Now, he's talking about, there's an insider in there, he's trying to be very vague in general. Now, you could take this with a grain of salt as you want. The primary factor holding up development beyond the pandemic is the original Mass Effect game. It currently does not live up to the quality of the rest of the package. It would make a poor first impression for new players, and it might disappoint fans who then won't go on to play the experience, the impressive upgrades for Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. Absolutely. Mass Effect 1 was made back in 2007, and then we waited a good long time, and Mass Effect 2 came out and it was absolutely light years ahead of Mass Effect 1 in quality, gameplay. They restructured the user interface, they restructured the gameplay mechanics and combat, and there was so much, it was so much more engaging than the first one. But the first one was absolutely amazing for its time. Then we go to Mass Effect 3, which I actually have all three on PC right now, and I play Mass Effect 3 from time to time, and it's still, the graphics even now look amazing. And it feels so fluid, it runs so nice on PC. So I'm really excited to see the remastered version of this for next gen. This is a problem with both visual and gameplay. The people working on the game understand the issues, and they want to do right by the franchise's fans. I mean, I would hope so. If they botch this, they're done, right? I mean, BioWare and EA have had a few shaky little things going on over the past few years, so they really can't afford not to get this right. But one aspect those fans won't get to experience, regardless of how much time BioWare gets, is the multiplayer. EA doesn't plan to include the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer in this package. Something like that would turn this remaster into a live service game, which honestly they have no intentions of doing. I mean, let's just cut through the rest of this wording BS and let's just put it out there. EA wants to remaster this game and put it out there, all 3 games, probably DLCs, and make a ton of money, right? That's the dream. I mean, and we're all, as fans of this franchise, we're gonna throw our money at it, right? As long as they can get it right. Now, I understand the live service part of it. That would just leave it open. I mean, you can go on today on PC and Mass Effect 3 and you can still play online. So I mean, their live servers are still up, and Mass Effect 3 came out in 2012. So 8 years later, their live servers are still up. I'm sure they don't get hardly any traffic, but you can play it. The one cool thing that I'm gonna miss about this not having the multiplayer version is, with Mass Effect 3, multiplayer and your solo campaign intermingled, right? So you were actually playing portions of the actual fighting as it was happening, and it would intermingle into your solo game, and it was really cool. And I haven't really seen that too much, you know, in gaming, and I really enjoyed it. So sometimes I just wanted to play solo, and I would just play my solo campaign, or I'd go do side missions or explore or whatever the heck you guys like to do. But that's it. That's not in the mix. They're not going to do that. Mass Effect Legendary Edition will, however, include all of the downloadable content for all 3 Mass Effect games. This will enable players to get the full experience included in the purchase price, all in one. So I'm actually expecting a pretty hefty price tag. If normal next gen games are about $70, you're gonna look at, for this with all the DLC, $70 to $100. They're putting it all together. They're not saying, now see, the thing is about this, EA is not saying one way or another. They refuse to confirm or deny the existence of a remastered Mass Effect trilogy.